Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Man to Man Fatherhood Initiative. We're doing week 4 of men's health. Right now, we're going to focus on substance abuse 2. Today, we have in the studio with us from Trinity Behavioral Care, Miss Janice Green. If you have anything you want to say, and also we'll let the rest of the staff introduce themselves.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are all getting ready to get something to eat for lunch. We have something great prepared for you today. My name is Janice Green, and I am the Prevention Director at Trinity Behavioral Care. We cover 3 areas: Marlborough County, Dillon County, and also Marion County. So, yeah, go ahead. You can take it over, guys.
Okay, I'm Gail on Wisdom.
Hey, I'm Trevor Dang, intervention specialist, man to man with Bennettsville office.
Good to see you all again. Thank you for tuning in with us. This is Anthony Green, Man to Man Fatherhood, Darlington, and look forward to hearing some comments from you.
And thank you, guys. And again, I'm Daniel Blathers, intervention specialist here in Florence, South Carolina. Right now, we'll get into substance abuse 2. Miss Janice Green, we'll have you take over and begin our discussion for today.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Man to Man, for having me today. I really appreciate it for this opportunity. So before I begin, we want to just tell you what we're going to talk about today. There's a couple things. As you guys all know, COVID is real. It is real up in here, okay? And it has impacted us in so many ways. The households are financially, school, education, our children, but it has definitely impacted the population that is affected by substance abuse. And so we're going to talk about some of those things. Please feel free to comment below. I like interaction, so please give me some hearts, some thumbs up. Any questions you have, feel free to put them in the comment box. We're going to have some good stuff. Thank you so much, Red Smith, for coming on in. We appreciate you. And so we're also going to talk about different substances and also how are you all coping with COVID? Hopefully we're coping in a healthy way. All righty. So I'm going to go ahead and begin with a little questionnaire. All right. So all of you guys that are on, I see you. I see you. I see you. I want you guys to engage with me. Okay. So I'm going to ask some questions. And you can put in the comment box true or false. Okay, true or false. Put a T or an F. Okay. So babies born to marijuana users are at an increased risk of both brain and behavioral problems. Is that true or false? Hello, Emma. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Again, right now we're doing an engagement activity. Please put true or false in the comment box with these questions that I'm asking. The first question is, babies born to marijuana users are at an increased risk of both brain and behavioral problems. Hey, Charlie, thank you. Okay, Charlie put true. You're right. Yes, Emma, true. That's right. Thanks, Red. Next one is...
Can we enter also?
Yes. Thanks, Gigi.
Okay, true.
Hey, well, Gigi, guess what? It's true. Yeah, it's true that marijuana users are in risk for brain and also behavioral problems. Believe it or not, many people who do operate are using marijuana. You know how they always say, oh, it makes me chill. Yeah, okay. It'll make you chill, but you'll begin to see behavioral problems. It'll begin to even affect the development of our brains, especially for the young generation. We have seen many issues with development brain problems due to using marijuana. And as you all know, the marijuana that was back in the day is not the same marijuana today. This marijuana, I don't know. It's man-made, it's synthetic, it's a mess. And people are lacing it with other drugs. And so it's real. It's very, very real. Okay. Hey, Sachel, thank you for coming on in.
Janice, let me ask you this before we move on.
Sure.
What happened if I love it so much and I just can't stop smoking it, but, say my girlfriend is pregnant or, my girlfriend herself, she loves doing it, but I mean, she's pregnant. I mean, what's the best recommendation?
This is what I find, Galen. I find that people who are using drugs, they did not wake up one day and said, today I want to be a pothead. Or
Okay.
today I want to use crack. Or today I'm going to try meth. I think what's happening with our society today, and has been for a while, there is a why. So I really want people to really begin to think about, what is the why? Why am I using this drug? What am I trying to numb myself about that I don't want to deal with? That I'm picking up this blunt, I'm rolling it up, knowing that it's going to harm me. So first off, I really believe, even though I'm in school right now for mental health counseling, but I work for Trinity. So I'm a prevention director, which is my job, is to prevent this from happening. But I am finding that people have some real trauma, some real issues. So I would recommend to first really dig within yourself. Why do you feel like you have to smoke? Why do you feel like you have to do this blunt? And what are you escaping from? What are you trying to not feel? What happened? Who hurt you? Who dropped you? Ask those, really be honest with yourself. Okay. Then once you get to a place of, you know what, there's some stuff that I could see I've been getting involved in this because I don't want to deal with it. I recommend for you to pick up the phone, especially in these areas, and speak to a counselor. It is okay. It's like a curse for people to think counseling is just like, oh no, you can't do counseling. Let me tell you, you picking up the phone for substance abuse and getting a counselor for mental health is the strongest thing that you can do. Some people need a couch. You just need a couch, and you need someone to talk it through. And with that, they'll be able to help you to get to a place of recovering. And I know that's a long answer to your question, Galen, but there's so many layers to it, because at the end of the day, I think it is difficult to try to stop doing something that you've been doing for years. It has become part of you. So you need help. And that's what Trinity Behavioral Care is for. That's what mental health counselors are for, to help walk you through this process of learning how to really cope with the stresses of your life, to really cope with the trauma, to really cope with issues, period. And drugs and drinking, that's not the way of coping, because truth be told, you're adding more issues to yourself, and it's going to affect in your body and your health. So I know it's a long answer, but really deal with the why and pick up the phone and get help.
Okay, thank you. I'm also seeing a question from Red Smith saying, so why do we use marijuana for medical purposes, knowing the side effects?
See, that's medication marijuana, which is different than going to the street and getting your bag. Okay. It's different things. So yes, that marijuana is different. It is serving purposes and it is prescribed. Okay. So therefore there's a dosage that's different. How it's put together, it's a different. We're talking about stuff that you get from the street, handmade or whatever the case may be. And they're lacing it with meth and things of that nature to get you hooked so you could go back to the drug dealer. That's the stuff we're talking about. But yes, I totally understand, Red. There is, evidence of some marijuana that is prescribed, medically prescribed, that has been helping individuals. And I don't know too much about that because I'm not on the medical side of it, but it has been proven if it's prescribed by the doctor, not prescribed by Willie Bobo on the corner of the street. Okay? All right.
And just want to add one more thing to what you're saying. Having a prescription gives you a certain amount to use versus out on the street, you're unlimited. Like you may have a prescription that allows you just to do it for a minute in the morning, a minute in the afternoon, versus somebody
Right.
hanging out with their boys and smoking unlimited all night. So
Yep.
till they're passing out almost.
Yeah. All night. And like I said, the marijuana today, it's pretty much linked with other stuff. It's not just marijuana. So I know individuals right now that they were smoking a bag of marijuana, whatever case may be, and they're not back. And when I mean by not back, something happened with that bag. It was a bad whatever batch, and their minds are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
True.
and so if you think, oh, well, you know, I only done it a couple of times, you only need that one time to get you totally out. I'm telling you, it will change your life forever, and you will feel the side effects. And even if you think, well, I know my guy from the street, I know he won't give me A, B, and C. Marijuana from the street or whatever, it's not good. It's proven to shown that there are brain issues that happen. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something real quick for my wonderful men out there. I don't know if y'all know this, right? Now, men, y'all know y'all love sex. Yeah, I said the word, right? You ready for this, men? Are you really ready for this? Okay.
Yes.
So the next time when you roll up a blunt or you want to smoke, I want you to think about this, okay? So it can cause a decrease in male hormone. And it's going to decrease your sperm count. It will also decrease your sex drive. So can you imagine you in your 30s, 40s, 20s, and you don't have no type of drive in that department? Your testicles, your friends will get smaller.
Gracious.
And you will be, there are evidence that marijuana will make men grow male boobs. So think about those things the next time you roll up a blunt. Just, roll up
here.
a joint. Okay? So I'm going to say it again. It cuts your sperm count. It decreases your sex drive. Okay? It messes with your hormones. And you can possibly grow male boobs. If I was you, and if that was your way of coping with stress, I will call a counselor because I don't want to deal with those side effects. And also, let's think about it like this. We have the tools and the resources to learn how to cope with stress, guys. Y'all can go running, you can go talking, you can go hang with the boys in a good atmosphere. You don't have to pick up. I think some of us have limited ourselves that we're like, man, I'm stressed, Bo. I'm stressed. I need to get me a blunt. Who said that? Why do we have to go that route? Maybe we need to take a look at ourselves and say, I see myself better than this. I have purpose on my life that I don't need to roll up a blunt. So really think about, how do you see yourself that you have to roll up a blunt to deal with stress or to cope or to hang with the boys? Think about that. And then those who are watching that are fathers and mothers, if I have mothers on here, think about it. You are saying, son, daughter, this is how you deal with life. You take the money that you work hard for and you put it in drugs, and that's how you're going to cope with your stress. You think that's really think about these things. Think about beyond the now moment. Okay? So yeah, I hope those things make you think, daddies.
Denise, I think one thing, we always talk about here, man to man, we get men to do a self-reflection. And also, you take time to learn, how did you get into that situation and what has you there. And I think you alluded to it earlier. Sometimes we have to look at the things within us to say, hey, is this the route that I'm taking? Is this the best route? Is this
Right.
actually the best way of coping with it? And then two, fathers, I always say, ask yourself, will that problem go away just because you chose to smoke? Because it's going to be there tomorrow or whenever you come down.
Yes. And you're going to have $10, $20 less in your pocket when you come down from that high. Okay? And men, I know it's hard for y'all. Oh my God, especially nowadays. I know, and for our African American men, I know it's hard for y'all. The weight that you guys carry all day, every day. I think sometimes we just expect men to be macho, but the things that you guys go through day in and day out, it is heavy. It is. But we have to, when do we stop self-medicating ourselves? When do we stop operating in dysfunction? When do we stop and say, hold up, my dad, my grandpa, my uncle, everybody behind me, this is how they dealt with life. Maybe I'm supposed to be the game changer. Maybe I should be the one to stop this cycle. Because if it didn't work for them, why do you think it's going to work for you? Especially if you see death after death after death of substance abuse in your family, who's going to be the one to step up? Maybe it's supposed to be you. Maybe all hell is hitting you because you're the one that's supposed to change the game in your family and be the father that is not just present, but is active and is making healthy decisions for their children to look after for. So think about that. If it didn't work for everybody else, why do you think it's going to work for you like that? Change the game and do something different. Pick up the phone, ask for help. It is okay. A man who asks for help is wise. The one who sits there and thinks he knows it all is a dummy. Yes, I said it. Ask for help. It's going to be all right. Okay? All right. I don't want to preach on the man-to-man thing, so let me move forward. Alrighty, so the next question. You guys ready? You guys out there? Come on, give me some thumbs up. You out there?
Let's go.
All right. So the next question is, marijuana grown today gives you more of a high than marijuana grown in the 1970s.
That's true.
I'm going to say it again. Marijuana grown today gives you more of a high than marijuana grown in the 1970s. Is that true or false?
That's true.
It's true, man.
Hey, Mark. Nice to see you. All right. Yes, Red. That's right. It's true. The high that you get now, it is different in 1970. Okay. The marijuana is not, like we said, it is not the same. It's not even grown the same. I don't even look the same. Okay. All right. So yes, that is true. That is true. Next one. Children are less likely to abuse alcohol, drugs, including marijuana, if parents talk with them about the dangers. I'm going to say it again. Children are less likely to abuse alcohol and drugs, including marijuana, quote unquote weed, if parents talk with them about the dangers.
That's a true.
Is that true or false?
That's a true.
That's a true for me.
It's true. I think parents get scared to talk about drugs and alcohol because they think that it's going to make them want to go try it. No. Parents, we have to start implementing preventative measures. And that means having a conversation, not talking at them, having a conversation where it's open-ended questions, where they could begin to ask you questions to understand more about drugs. Have the talk. Because if you don't, the streets are. And the streets are going to also use them as objects in the conversation. Okay. So have the conversation. Go ahead, Daniel. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say some parents may not want to have that conversation because they're doing it. And, talking to our kids, that's, educating our kids. I think when we grew up, Anthony, I know you can attest to it because we were around the same age. When they first started putting commercials on TV, this is your brain on drugs and showing you different side effects and things that can happen. Nowadays, drugs are so popularized, like it's the thing to do. It goes with, being in the streets, in our music. And most of our kids now are actually learning from TV or the internet.
Right.
And, being able to put values in our kids, saying no to drugs, and like you say, let them see the side effects. But by it being so normal, some parents don't know how to even have that conversation.
Okay, can I say this? I mean, it's just I'm just thinking that a responsible parent will want to have that conversation, or will even have that conversation with their kids. And that's for parents to even check themselves if you are responsible. What I'll say also is that, and you have different, I guess you have different households. You have some parent that they think that they're responsible enough to smoke it, but they'll tell the kids, hey, don't touch it because you're a child. And I've seen that on several occasions. Hey, kid, that's not for you. Not to say that it's right.
Right.
But you have some parents that say, hey, I'm an adult, so I'm allowed to do this, but you're a child, so you're not supposed to do this. And they do have that breakdown with the child, but then again, you know what the child is going to do, because they're going to hide and do it. But it's
Hey, Gillian,
very
I'm
important that
sorry. I
it's
just
very
wanted to add to what we were talking about. It's just like the session where we had when we were talking about modeling to help our children learn, right?
yes,
Where we were talking about being role models for them. So it's like what Derek used to say. He says you should practice what you
that's
preach.
correct. That's very much correct.
So we know at that tender age they learn a lot from what they see. So
That's
it
correct.
doesn't suffice for you to tell them like, hey, don't do it. I'm your father. I can do it because I'm older. It doesn't suffice because they will definitely learn from what they see.
That's
Yeah.
correct. But
So
I
yeah,
like you said that, because a lot of parents have that mentality, because a lot of people do it. I can do it because I'm an adult, but then again, you're a child, and it's
yeah.
not right.
Right.
But again, as I said, a responsible parent is going to have dialogue with the kids about substance abuse.
Right. Right. And the reason why the parent can't practice what they preach is because it goes back to what we said. This is all they know. This has become a part of them. That it's like you almost telling them cut off your arm, literally, because this is their lifestyle. So it goes back to, if I could just be frank, mostly the reason why people get involved in the substance abuse the way they do, and they're not able to be the example to their children, is because they have a broken boy or a broken girl inside of them. And until that part of them is not addressed, this is all they know to keep them, quote unquote, calm, functional, and able to deal with life. And so you're right. The parent is the main example, but these children are exposed to this day in, day out. And this is all that they know now, which is why the cycle of dysfunction of substance abuse continues. We're finding people that are alcoholics or involved in drugs. Their mom was involved, or the so-and-so. It just goes back in generations. So practice what you preach is very important, but they don't know how to practice. They don't even have the tools themselves to practice. So we have to be able to educate, have great opportunities like this, and be able to educate and also let them know it's okay. Okay, hear me. People who are on right now, it's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to stay not okay.
Right.
And I think we have to give each other permission to say, okay, I don't got this all together. And that's okay. You gotta be 1,000 with yourself and say, okay, I'm not okay, which is okay. It's just not okay to stay not okay because you have a little girl, a little boy that is looking up to you to be their answer, to be their hero. So if you don't want to get help for yourself, get help for them then. Don't let them have to reap the consequences because of your unhealthy decisions. And maybe by you getting help for them will help you get to a place and say, you know what, I want better for me. But if you can't get yourself to that place, at least do it for your children.
Janice, let me ask this question. And how do we, treat functional substance abusers? Meaning that, they're able to substance abuse, but yet they're still functional if at the job, in the family. Or let me just ask about those who use it casually. It's like maybe a recreation for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an abuse in itself, but it's recreation.
You could tell yourself the lie that this is recreational. It's going to end up to be a lifestyle. But if you want to tell yourself that, that's fine. Remember, everything starts with a thought. Okay. You first have a thought, then you have a feeling, then you have an action, then you have a habit, and then you have a lifestyle. So you can tell yourself, I only do this on the weekends. But I promise you, that monster is going to grow. And next thing you know, you're going to say to yourself, which I always hear from so many clients, how did I get here? So tell yourself it's recreational. I promise you it won't stay there, because that monster wants to take over your life.
Good job.
I don't think they was ready. Y'all know I keep it at that. I don't know if they was ready.
Tell it like it is.
And also, if you're functional, you could be functional. That's fine. If you think, hey, I could do this. And this is, I want you to hear my heart. I'm not trying to come at you. I'm trying to get with you to help you get help. Okay. If you're like, oh, it's functional, I could just do it here and there, and I can still go to work, and I can still use my calculator, and I can still add and all. Right. Okay. But have you really reached your full potential? You can't, because you're high. You're not sober. So you are just doing just the limit of what you can do. You have not reached your full potential because you're not fully clear in your mind. And also, you're not tricking your body. Your body will show the effects of substance abuse. So outwardly, you could be performing. Inwardly, your body's going to show. It's going to get damaged one way or another. Your liver, your kidneys, blood pressure is going to show. It's going to show. Any other questions?
None. Continue on.
Okay. All righty. So another question, 2 thoughts. You guys ready? You guys good out there?
Let's go.
Your hearts, your thumbs up. All righty. So next one is people using cocaine for a long time do not show any real changes in their behavior. Again, people using cocaine for a long period of time do not show any real changes in their behavior. True or false?
I'll say false.
That would be false.
I'm gonna wait and see what our people say. I think I made them mad. They're not commenting.
No, you're gonna get some person afterwards. So yeah.
But yes, you're right. It's false. False. Yes, Central. Good job. False. I just want to give you a little bit about the short-term effects. Yes, Barry, my husband. Yes, right. False. Okay. Cocaine. You get an increased heart rate. You have issues with your respiratory system. You're increasing in your breathing. Your body temperature will increase. Your blood pressure is going to increase. And also you're putting yourself in a risk of a stroke, a heart attack, or respiratory failure. And that's short term. Okay. Also, just so you guys know, those who are involved in cocaine, the short-lived high is only an hour. So they're chasing this high that only lasts an hour for the rest of their life. You'll never reach that first high. All right. And it leads to, as you guys know, major depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, and the list goes on and on and on. Next one. A child can be affected by meth by touching the drug. A child can be affected by meth by touching the drug. True or false? Touching, like
True.
on a table.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Okay. Meth is no joke whatsoever. I'm going to give you some short-term effects. You'll have mood swings. Your behavior is unpredictable. We don't know if we're going to see Johnny, Joe, John. We don't know who we're going to see today when it deals with meth. Okay. Elevated blood pressure, irregular heart rate. Your sleeping patterns are just off the chain. Loss of appetite, and you can have convulsions, seizures. But again, we're still functioning, but these things are happening. Believe it or not, children can be highly affected by meth if someone is smoking it, or again, like we just said, if the child is touching it. Many babies are being born with meth in their body. So they're small, they're premature, many health risks because someone decided to continue operating in meth and didn't get the help that they really needed. And the baby's innocent. Any questions out there? Yep, that's right. True. Thank you, Gigi. All right, next question. Bath salts and spice are mild drugs that do not cause any long-term effects. Bath salts and spice are mild drugs that do not cause any long-term effects. True or false?
False.
False. False.
False for me.
Yes, Gigi. Yep, you guys are right. False.
Yep.
They will have long-term effects. Okay? They will have long-term effects. Next question. Most addicted people know that they have a problem.
False.
Most people who are addicts or an addiction.
False.
It's false.
Yeah, false. I'm good.
Yeah.
They don't think it is.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm good. I just do it here and there. I just
I'm
do it on
good.
the weekend.
I ain't drunk. I ain't high.
Yeah, I'm not drunk.
Yeah, I'm not high.
But
It's all good.
yes, they do not believe they have a problem. The main symptom that you see is they are completely in denial, and denial stands for don't even know I'm lying to myself. Okay, they are completely in denial. Which could be very frustrating for families who are impacted by substance abuse, which is a whole nother live one day. But the
Yes.
effects on the family, I like when people make the decision to continue substance abuse, not only are you affected, but the entire family and the families to come, they are affected.
All right, Janice, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Say I'm a teen and I'm concerned about my mom or my dad because they do have an addiction. They are substance abusers. I mean, would you recommend that teen to call for help if they feel as if the parents keep saying that I'm not high, I'm good, but that teen is just not having any confidence in what the parents are saying. And that might be a struggle also, being the fact that it's just me and my mom live, it's just me and my dad lives. And
Yeah, I think that sometimes teens, children, they're scared to ask for help. But I do advise students who I talk to speak. We have an adolescent counselor at Trinity Behavioral Care to reach out to the adolescent counselor and see how they can move forward to possibly have everyone come together where it's just so the parent doesn't feel like, oh, they're just trying to send me and I'm doing it by myself. By the counselor coming in with the teen and having a conversation with the parents of them coming together as a unit, that may assist. A lot of these kids, especially now with COVID, they're stuck in the house, and these parents are, involved in substance abuse, and it's affecting them in major ways, and they're silently suffering. I do advise that if you're comfortable, ask for help. Ask for help, and I'm sure the counselor, especially the one in Trinity Behavioral Care, they will position it in a way where everyone can come together. But at the end of the day, and if there's any kids watching, it is not your fault that your parents are using, okay? And also know that the person has to come to a place that they want to be sober. We can't make them. Our job is to love them and to be patient, but we can't make someone become sober. They have to make the decision within themselves, and that's difficult.
And also just to add, just for some kids that it may help them, and I know they may be scared to say something. A lot of parents may threaten them not to tell their business to outside people, but also reach out just to other family members, just to be able to have more of a family support to what they're
Yeah.
trying to, get help with.
Yeah.
And one thing, Janice, before you continue, Facebook family, we have Craig Lightfoot on our broadcast with us now. So he'll be here to add extra commentary and very valuable opinions. So Craig is here with us at the moment.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, Janice. Just
All
here for
right.
tea.
I had a question, man. Can I go
Sure.
ahead? Yeah. I just wanted to find out
Go ahead, Greg.
prior to COVID, right? I already understand. The rate of substance abuse was growing. So I wanted to find out what role has the pandemic played on the rate of substance abuse.
It has increased tremendously. Every county has their own numbers. I know for Marlborough County, we're a small county. So I know the last time I checked, it was about 8 to 9 people. That may not sound like a lot, but for Marlborough County, it is. To the point that Deotis, who is the one who's over drug and alcohol substance abuse of our state, contacted us personally and told us that Marlborough County was a hot spot, especially in the Clio area of overdoses. And so with that, we decided to implement Narcan drive-throughs where I would have people come up. I didn't ask any personal questions, but they would come up and I would give them a free Narcan. And if you guys want one, we're giving them free to anyone and everyone. Narcan is used for overdoses of opioids, which are, popping pills, or heroin. There's been an increase due to COVID. Think about it. It has been a stressful time. People are locked in. People are losing their jobs. People are trying to cope, right? That's where it comes to coping with it. Depression has increased. Isolation has increased. And some of them have made decisions where this is how I'm going to deal with it. And they've increased in heroin and popping pills. Also, because they're not able to go out, maybe the supplier is not available, right? So they're substituting what they would use from their supplier, and they're using Percocets, oxycodone, things of that nature, and trying to maximize as much as they can to get the high. And so that's why this is so important. Narcan, it's a nasal spray. We're giving them out. I can give you a phone number if you're interested. If you want one, you can come to our office in Marlboro, Marion, or Dillon to pick up, or I'll make sure to leave my number here. But the Narcan is a nasal spray, and if you found someone who's overdosed, you spray it in their nose, you empty the whole thing out, and then if they do not respond, there's a second one in there, and you spray it in their nose again, and hopefully they will respond. And so before you administer the Narcan, you do call 911 and you stay on the phone, of course. But what's happening is people are passing away in between the phone call to 911 and the time of when EMS gets there. So Narcan is to help preserve the life of that individual till EMS gets there. Narcan has saved many lives. So if you're interested, please put it in the chat box that you want one. And hey, it's not saying that you're using it. It's just kind of like having a fire extinguisher or fire alarm, smoke alarm in your house, just in case. It has increased, and we're already preparing for a serious surge that's happening with overdoses. So Trinity's already getting prepared for what's about to happen. Our telehealth services have increased as well, so we can continue counseling even if they don't come to our office. Go ahead, Craig.
I'm not sure if Daniel or Anthony mentioned, but we just had a client that passed away a couple weeks ago. And it has been speculated that it was due to drug overdose. And this individual, he started with the pills, popping the pills, and it gradually went from there. And went from the pills to the coke, crack, and word is his death was a result of heroin. But here's the thing: when his mother gave me the call, he was at his aunt's house in the restroom. Instead of her calling 911, she called his mother. She says, "Why did you call me? Why not call 911?" They didn't know what to do. So I'm thinking maybe that was the link between life and death.
Time is big during overdose. Time is like kind of like when they say time is important when someone's having a stroke. It's the same thing with the overdose. Time is all you have, and you have to move very quickly.
And it took a lot out of us. I think all of us, because directly or indirectly, we were working with this individual. And, for years, we've been trying to help this guy. And he wanted to do better. But he made a statement to me last year. He said, he's called me boss man. He said, "Boss man, if I don't get some help soon, I'm going to die." That's the second guy that said that. Both of them are deceased. And I sit around and I'm often thinking, with this guy, I think the other guy was on Daniel's case, and I think we often think about how in the world can we save these guys?
Yeah.
What do we do? What are we doing wrong? I've done some stuff with counseling. I don't have my degree in counseling, but one of the things I thought maybe we could do is coping skills. How do you teach them to cope? All of that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, I've made several calls to LRADAC to try to get some long-term care for these guys, and just didn't know what to do, I guess. So
yeah, it's hard. And COVID really, like, I have clients that come in that want long-term, but COVID is kind of like people are not taking people right now. So that's hard as well. But yes, yeah. I think that education is a great tool where you talk to them about ways of coping with stress, positive reinforcers, also relapse, things of that nature, and how to way to prevent from them relapsing. A lot of it's about them changing their circle. Yeah, it's hard. And I mean, you guys are doing all that you can do, just making sure that we're there for them when they're here, making sure we give them the tools, and that's all we can do. We're not with them 24/7. So it's difficult. Trinity, I mean, I found myself, asking the same thing. I was, before you came on, Craig, I'm an intern also for Trinity, for mental health. And for substance abuse, and it has been difficult to hear the deaths that are happening, relapsing, and it's like, where am I missing it at, But education is important. Educating them, they don't even understand the impact and the effects of substance abuse. So having platforms like this is very important.
We were we were a couple times, me, Daniel, Anthony. We talked about aftercare. When we do send them to treatment, what is the plan afterwards? And I guess it's one thing to put the plan together,
right?
Then how do you execute with a participant who is, I guess, indecisive about what is the next move? Do they go back into the community? Is there so many things in reference to this kind of situation, if that makes sense?
And it's important to, if you're able to, and if they give consent, for you to, wherever treatment they are coming out of, that you kind of do some type of wraparound services for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Denise, I got a question for you, because you mentioned something about COVID and what COVID has done in relation to the lockdown, and persons are at home and persons are becoming bored, restless. I mean, I know you deal with preventatives, right? No, someone is struggling, say a parent is struggling, and they're not going to work as regular as they used to go to work, and they're unable to go out as though they want to go out because of COVID-19. I mean, what are some of the preventatives that you can advise us on, so that persons won't go into a relapse, or they'll be more creative in, getting stuff done without even doing substance,
And you're
thinking
talking
about
about an
substance
individual
abuse.
that's already involved in substance abuse, or someone that's not?
Someone that is involved, but I mean, they are not in it as heavy. It's just that because of COVID and the lockdown, they are becoming bored. They're becoming restless. I mean, the options are
Got
limited,
it.
and so substance abuse has now become a very big consideration because they need entertainment. They
Well,
need to feel it or whatever it is.
let me tell you, the COVID, you could put a spin on it, and I'm talking about people who are not like not fully over on the other side. Okay, COVID is a great opportunity for you to recreate you, for you to rebrand you. And this is a time where, yes, everything is on pause, but that doesn't mean that your life has to be on pause.
That's
So
right.
if you're like, Janice, I am bored out of my mind, I'm starting to tap into things I shouldn't be tapping into, you need to get your mind together, okay? Get your mind together and pull back and really think about things that you have been saying that you've been wanting to do or become, and this is the moment to do it. I call it dream again. Okay. So you go back to the things that you said, one day I'm going to do this and one day I'm going to do that. But then life happened, right? Well, now COVID has presented itself where you can now make these dreams that you had. What about the book that you said you wanted to write? What about, I don't know, the support group you wanted to create? What about the picture that you've been wanting to paint? What about, I mean, just one thing after another. Write those things down and make those things happen. You have to take this time. Time is precious and time is money. If you have not built another stream of income during this time, then I don't know what to tell you. You should be creating another stream of income, because we shouldn't, let's be honest, we shouldn't just rely on one stream of income. But again, we didn't come here for a financial webinar, but I'm just saying, you should be creating other streams of income. Whatever your passions are, whatever that you're good at, I promise you there's a way that you can make that into some type of stream of income, or definitely something that's productive for you and your household. You don't have to fall into the boredom thing where you begin to operate in negative things. Maybe it's your time to regroup and think about your circle. Think about the people that you hang with. If everybody in your circle is asking you for money, you have outgrown your circle. Okay. You need to find a new circle. Put in a comment, I need to find a new group of friends. Okay. This is a time to really reflect. Don't fall in this thing of, oh my God, the COVID, and you start thinking about the past to the point where you start picking up the cigarette again or picking up the black mouth. No. Become better out of this time. Create something new. Rebrand yourself. Reintroduce yourself. Hey, do some self-development. I mean, there's so much you can do. But again, you have to reprogram your mind to think higher, okay? When you're going back to these things that you haven't done for years, you're in a low place. You should not be thinking about, man, let me go roll up this blunt because this is what I used to do when I was 15. What you doing? No, you need to really get into a better state of mind and maybe get yourself into some self-development or YouTube. Listen to motivational speech, something to motivate you and get you going. And again, write down those goals and those dreams that you've been putting on the back shelf for years. Pull them back out and see what you can accomplish. Because I'm telling you, COVID ain't going away tomorrow. Okay, so we still have time. Use this time to really become a better you.
That's right.
Thank you.
So we have more questions, but we've been talking for a minute now. So
Well, we have, and it's great information. I think our viewers out there, fathers and mothers, will get a great deal from what we've covered today. We want everyone to be able to have access to information that will benefit them. Being able to reach out to an agency such as yours is a very valuable thing. Um,
yes,
to all our parents out there, our dads, and especially men, I want to say this. you're not weak for asking for help. I know that's a stereotype amongst men. You know, it's not the masculine thing to do, it's not the macho thing to do, but in the long term, it will benefit you being able to go talk to somebody, asking for assistance. Because, you know, like Janice, you said, you know, everybody doesn't have it all together at all times. So we got to be able to be comfortable about asking for help and not worrying about what the next person is going to say, because in the long run, they're going to talk about you regardless. They're going to talk about you while you're here, but they'll definitely talk about you when you're gone.
That's right.
And hey, give them something. They're gonna talk about anyway. They're gonna talk about you anyway. So why don't you just give them something good to talk about?
And Janice, if you could provide any contact information for your agency at the time.
Yeah. So again, my name is Janice Green from Trinity Behavioral Care. I'm the prevention director. And again, we talked about Narcan. Please come get your Narcan. We have preventative services, but we also have counseling services for adults and adolescents. So please contact us at 843-479-5683, 843-479-5683, and choose a better life with Trinity Behavioral Care. We don't just give you services, but we actually take your hand and we walk you through this journey of recovery. You are not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. We are here to help you, and we're here not to judge you. This is a non-judgmental zone. We are here to help you and to help your family become better.
Ms. Denise, we thank you for your time and valuable information today. Fellas, is there any final comments? Trevor, Anthony, Galen?
If I
Um,
just have to add,
yes.
like Miss Jenny said, use this time to rebrand yourself. You know, it's like we always try to paint it out to a whole lot of our participants out there. We used to tell them like, hey, you can be a champion without a challenge. For sure, you might be going through a lot, but it takes one positive decision that you make for you to be a whole new person. So it's high time for them to sit back, just get a recap of how they've been, how far they've gone, and what they
Right.
have ahead of them, and just make a positive change. And that's it. It's going to impact a whole lot of people looking up to you.
Mm. Um, I would like to add
Mr.
along
Green,
with yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
go ahead.
I would like
Go ahead. We
I
got you.
all right. I'd like to add along outstanding to everybody who's on the live today. Of course, you guys all the information, and of course all the information from Miss Green. Outstanding. Um, just want to mention that to our viewers, our program participants, that we are man to man. We're going to have our annual health screening, which is going to take place this month, December 9th. We're going to do it in Hartsville. And if you would like to be a part of our health screening, which is absolutely free, please contact myself or Daniel, or you can contact Craig and contact Trevor. It doesn't matter. Contact either one of us, and you can be a part of this health screening, which again, absolutely free. If you do not have transportation, please let us know. We will provide the transportation to the health screening and bring you back. Of course, get you home safe and sound. Um, to all of our program participants, the Florence area, especially the Darlington and Hartsville area, and of course, any others. If you would like to be a part of Man to Man, our enrollment is 24/7. We're like a 7-Eleven. We're always open for enrollment. So if you want to be a part of the program, please contact for that. For the health screening, which is coming up December 9th, please let us know right now so we can go ahead and get that together to provide that free health screening for you. And we're going to have our regular group session in Hartsville this Wednesday. So please contact me if you want to be a part of the group session, and of course, if you want to be a part of the health screening. Um, you, in many ways, it's been said many times before. You have not because you ask not, and The opportunity for help and assistance is right there. So please take advantage of it. And thank you guys again so much for tuning into it.
Galen, final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's basically an echo what all you guys have said. It's very, very, very important, especially as men, as parents, for us to talk. And if we're going through these issues, I can truly say that, I mean, the men, the fathers at Man to Man Fatherhood Initiative are able to help you. And there's something about that circle. I mean, if we don't have positive people in our circle, we need to start searching for positive people because, I mean, that's what's going to help us and change us and help us to be successful and great parents because we want to break that curse. We want to break that cycle. If it's something that I am a parent that I saw my parents use drugs and I'm trying to get out of it. So what it means is that, change your company, seek better company. I mean, as I said, Man to Man is always available to help. And I mean, you can always look around. Maybe try a family member, try a local church. I mean, try an institution that help with change, like Trinity Behavioral Care. I mean, but there's always an answer. There's no excuse. And I mean, the resources are there. So the truth is that the resources are there. Maybe if you do check it out, it's free. The resources are free also. And that's amazing because not everybody have access to free resources as here. So it's just to say that, I mean, there's no excuse than you just pick up the phone, make a phone call, or even just go on the internet and look for resources that can help you. But it's just to remind us as parents that we are very, very, very important. And what we might slip through or what we might end up going through and have no effect, I mean, our kids are right behind us and they might not survive it, even if we survive it. And that's going to be painful to know that, I've been through that, I did that, and I'm still here, but my kid tried it and yeah, they didn't make it through. And that hurts. And, you're going to blame yourself for that because I could have been better. I could have done better. So I leave that right there. But yeah, I mean, make a phone call, guys. Make a phone call, parents. I mean, help is always there.
All right, Craig, any positive final thoughts you want to share?
Just glad I was able to come in. I'm sorry I came late. I had to take care of a previous matter, but I am always willing to learn so that I'm able to further help our clients. And just glad to be here.
All right, guys, we thank you for tuning in. Be sure to engage in the engagement survey that will be provided in the link in the comment section. For more information, if you want to contact our Florence office, 843-676-0407. Our Bennettsville office, 843-479-4177. Or you can visit us at mantomanfathers.com. But please be sure to use any resources that we have available, and we're here for you. Again, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.